Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chanel. Okay guys, so this video is going to be, as you probably saw from the title of this video, it is my 23 books in 2023 that I want to read. So let's go over last year. Last year I kind of didn't know really how to do it. I just randomly picked 22 books. Yeah, basically I just randomly picked 22 books for last year because I didn't know really how it was done. But this year it's completely different. This year I've decided to go through all the books that I had on my TBRs throughout the year and just basically look through what books I really wanted to read but didn't really get around to. So I've basically put them on this for this year. So these are all the books that I really wanted to read last year but didn't get around to them, so now I'll put them on this one. So hopefully this will boost me up and basically give me the motivation to get to these books and read them. So yeah, let's start with going through all the books that I want to read this year, or mainly the 23 of the books. Let's start with the first one. The first one that I've got here is a book that I definitely know for 110%, I know for sure I will definitely read. I will definitely read this book this year, and that is The Bullet That Missed by Richard Osman. I have read, this is the third book in the series, so yes, I have definitely read the last two books. I read both of them books in last year. I did. I absolutely love this series so much. This is such a nice little cozy mystery, and I just love them. I just love these. I love the people, the characters and everything in this book, so I definitely know for sure that I'll be reading this. So yes, I'm looking forward to reading this. So this is the first book that I've got on my 23 books in 2023. Is Meet Me in Tahiti by Georgia Toffolo. This is the third book in the Meet Me series. These are basically about a group of 4 friends, and each book basically go over each friend's love life and their backstories and everything. But it is a very, very good, and I actually really do enjoy it a lot. This one is the one that I'm looking most forward to, mainly because it's got disability in it. It's got disability rep, so I'm looking most forward for this one. It was the first book I was looking most forward for because it had fake dating in it, and this one because it's got disability rep. But yeah, I'm looking forward to get into this one. And what I've got here is Meet Me at the Wedding by Georgia Toffolo. So this is the last and final book in the Meet Me series. So yes, I'm definitely looking to finish off the series in this year, so hopefully I can. So yeah, like I said with the other previous book, this is basically about the same thing, but this one is about one of the other friends instead, and I believe that she is planning a wedding. I think she plans weddings or something like that, I don't know. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to this one. Here is One Last Secret by Adele Parks. I recently found this author last year by picking up a book. I can't remember what the book was called, but I will put it up on screen anyway for you what book it was, and I really did enjoy it. I loved this author's writing, and basically I just loved it all. I loved how that book turned out. So I wanted to read more of her books, so I thought, why not put this one on so that I can read more. And yeah, I'm looking very interested in reading this one. I am very interested. Next book that I've got, I know a lot of people love this book. Like, I know a lot of people love this book, and I know this book has made a lot of people cry whilst reading it. Hopefully hopefully I won't cry, but I'm gonna do my best anyway. And that is A Little Life. I'm not even gonna try to say the name, sorry, but I'm not gonna try. I'm gonna ruin it. But yeah, loads of people have read this and they've all said that it's really good and it made them cry. Everybody's cried that's read this, and I thought it's about time that I get around and reading it, because I've been putting it off for a while now. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and hopefully read this one this year. I am gonna take, if I do get around to this one and reading it, hopefully I will, I'm gonna take my time with it. That's what I think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take my time with this, because I know that I will definitely cry. I know I will. If everybody else cried, I know I'm gonna cry. So yeah, hopefully I can, but I am looking forward to this one. Next book that I've got here is Night of the Mannequins by Stephen Graham Jones. This one I wanted to read in October for Halloween. I really do want to read this, because this does actually sound really, really good, and it's really tiny, so it shouldn't take me that long to read it. I really do want to read this because it does sound interesting. The only thing that is stopping me from reading this is my fear and phobia of dolls. And I know that this says mannequins, but in my mind, mannequins are basically big human-sized dolls, basically. Mannequins are literally just human-sized dolls, if you think about it. To me, they are. And it's stopping me from reading it because I hate dolls and they just creep me out. And a human-sized mannequin go around and walking around by itself is it's a no. And I just don't like dolls, and they just creep me out. They can creep me out. So yeah, I'm looking really forward to it, because the story of like what it says on the back here sounds really good, and I'm looking very interested in reading it. It's just my fear of dolls that is stopping me from reading this. So hopefully I will be able to reread it. It's very short, like I said. The writing's quite big, so I should be able to fly through this very quickly. Hopefully I can. I just have to basically sack it up and go for it. So yeah, that's one of the books that I would have got here is Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. This is a thriller book. It is a thriller mystery book. I believe this is about a husband and a wife, and I believe they go away for some like treatment, or is it their honeymoon? Or is it for an anniversary? Because they've been married for a couple of years. Anyway, I know that it's in the Scottish Highlands anyway. So yeah, I don't know what it is, but any books that they space in Scottish in Scotland, I don't know what it is. I just draw to them. Anyway, off topic. But yeah, I'm looking very interested in reading this. This one I did really want to read. I got this for my birthday last year, and I wanted to dive in and read it straight away. But I kind of didn't. So yeah, hopefully I can get around and read it this year, hopefully, before my birthday in October. So hopefully I can do that. The Love Hypothesis by Al Hazelwood. This one does sound really good. I am very interested in it because it is fake dating, and I love fake dating so much. I really do. So hopefully I can get to this one and read it. And yeah, and basically it sort of like gives me a school sort of setting, and I don't know what it is, but just reading these sort of books like based in the school setting, I kind of really like it. I don't know. But anyway, this just seems really good, and I know that a lot of people like it, a lot of people don't. I know that it's very hyped anyway, so yeah. It's fake dating, that's all what I'm mainly interested in, is the fake dating part. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to reading this one. Here is The Grooms Wore White by Charlie Laters? Yeah, Laters. This is basically a gay romance. I believe so, yes it is. And I cannot wait to read this. I just... next book that I've got here is Fairy Tale by Stephen King. I cannot wait to read this. This sounds so good, and I love Stephen King's books. There's nothing for it. I just love Stephen King. Yeah, I'm just looking very forward to reading this. It is a chunker, like most of these books are. But yeah, I can't wait to read this. I really cannot wait to read this at all. I just can't wait. I want to read it now. Next book that I've got here is One by One by Ruth Ware. This is another thriller book that I'm very interested in reading. I read Ruth Ware for the first time last year. I did. It was The It Girl. What you probably can see behind me here. What is this one? Yeah, I first read her book last year, and I really did enjoy her writing and everything, so I thought why not pick up some more books. And I've heard some good things about this one, so I'm very interested in reading this. I know that this is set out up on the mountain, I believe they get isolated up on the mountain and people start dying. So I'm very interested in reading that. I just love an isolation, like people being isolated. I love that trope, like just people getting isolated either on an island or up in the mountains. I just love that. Like I just love it so much. So yeah. Next book that I've got here is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This one I was dying to read last year. I kept on trying my best to get on my TBRs. I think some of my TBRs I got it on but didn't get around to it. So hopefully I can finally get around to it this year and read it, because this was one of the top priority reads of last year that I wanted to read, but I never got around to it. So hopefully I can read it this year, because this book just sounds really good and I've heard so many good things about it and I really want to read it. I know that I think one part of this is based is linked in with one of her other books that she writes, that she's got. So yeah, I am looking very forward to reading this. So yes, hopefully I can get to The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. This is a historical fiction, I believe, sort of like romance book. And I'm very interested in this, and I do believe this is also gay as well. So it's definitely an LGBTQ rep. And yeah, I just can't wait to read this. I really can't. And yeah, I was dying to get my hands on this book last year. I know I finally did, and I wanted to pick it up straight away and read it, but I never got around to it. So this year I'm definitely going to read this book. I really am, because I just want to read this book so badly. I really do. yes, hopefully I can. That I've got here is The Last Thing to Burn by Will Dean. This is a little tiny thriller book. So yeah, this one does sound really interesting. Like the blurb on the back does sound really interesting, and yeah. Yeah, I believe this is about a woman that is, I think she gets kidnapped. I believe she gets kidnapped. I know that she is, like, she gets locked away in that, and I believe it's by her husband. I'm not that sure. Let's see, it says, her husband calls her Jane. That is not her name. She lives in a small farm cottage surrounded by vast open fields. Everywhere she looks, there is space, but she is trapped. No one knows how she got to the UK. No one knows she is there. Visitors rarely come to the farm. If they do, she is never seen. Her husband records her every movement during the day. If he doesn't like what he sees, she is punished. For a long time, escape seems impossible, but now something has changed. She has a reason to live and a reason to fight. Now she is watching him and waiting. Like, it does sound really, really good, and I can't wait to read this one. So yeah, hopefully I can get is The Book of Accidents by Chuck Wedding. This one was highly recommended by Gabby. I think it's Gabby Reads. I will link her channel anyway down below. And I wanted to read this one for Halloween. I've been wanting to read this one way before Halloween last year. I've been wanting to read it throughout the year, basically. I think it was like from the mid of the year last year I wanted to read it. But I never got around to it, and it just sounds really, really good. It's a haunted house book, and I just want to read it so badly. And yeah, it's a haunted house. Like, what can you go wrong with a haunted house book? Like, seriously, I just can't wait to read it. I really can't. And yeah, Gabby loves this book anyway, and I'm going with what she says, so hopefully I will like it as well. Next book that I've got here is Billy Summers by Stephen King. I've had this one now for a while, and I've been wanting to read it, but haven't got around to it. So hopefully I can get to this one this year and read it, as this does sound really, really good. It really, really does sound good. I like what it says here. It says, tonight, with summer's past and autumn on the come, he lies awake, troubled, not by the gun in the golf bag. He's thinking about the job he's agreed to do with the gun. As a rule, he never goes further than the two basics, taking the shot and getting out of dodge. This time it seems different, not just because it's the last time he plans to take a life for pay. It's different because it has a smell. Like, what? Like, what does that mean? Like, I really want to know, because, like, this does sound really, really good, and it interests me. I want to know what happens. So yeah, this is one book that I'm very interested in reading. So hopefully I can get is With This Kiss by Kerry Hope Fletcher. This is a romance book. I believe it's sort of got some sort of like magic input into it as well. What I'm very interested in reading, and I just love the cover. Like, look at these end papers. I just love it so much, and I just love the whole cover of the book, to be honest. And yeah, if you knew how your love story ends, would you dare to begin? Depends on how it ends. I believe with a kiss they can. I believe with this, I believe the main character in this has got a magic power. I think if she kisses someone, she can see how that person is going to die. And that interests me. And I believe the person that she kisses, or the main person that she's going to be with, I think she ends up, I think she's the one that ends up causing their death. I think she's the reason why they die. I believe. I'm not that sure. I can't remember, and I'm not going to reread this because I don't like knowing what happens in books. So yeah, I am very interested in reading this. Next book that I've got here is Manhunt by Gretchen Fletcher Martin. Oh my god. There you go. This is a horror book, and I believe there is a disease that's going around, and it's basically only affects men, and it makes them go savage. So basically there's loads of women out there and they are hunters, and they basically go around killing men. Well, I love that fact. And yeah, I just love it. Like, why not? Why not? Very interested in reading this, I am. So yeah, this I did want to read last year again in October. Didn't get around to it. Hopefully I can get to it this year. But yeah, this does sound really interesting, and I really that I've got here is Variety of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. This is a chunker of a book, but I am very interested in reading this. I think this is one of the top fantasy books that I really want to read. I really wanted to read it last year, but because of the size of it, I didn't want to read it on my own. So yeah, it's a chunker, and I really would need help reading this. So hopefully I can find some sort of book group or book club, or get some buddy reads in, and hopefully I can get to this one and read it. So yes, hopefully I can. I do actually believe, thinking about it now, I'm sure Pris from Tackling Tombs, Pris, she's got a book club called Tackling Tombs. I believe this is actually her January and February pick. I'm not that sure. I will have a check. If it is, I'll put a answer on screen for you. But yeah, if it is, great, then I will definitely be reading that. To read, next book is, I'll have to put it on screen, because this is the only book that I've got on my Kindle that I want to read, that I want to prioritize to read, and that is I've forgotten the name of the book. That is The Stroke of Winter by Wendy Webb. This I think is a horror, maybe thriller. But I know that this sounds really, really good, and yeah, I really want to read it. I really do want to read it. It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. This is the second book in the It Ends With Us series. I believe it's called It's the Ending Us. I know that this is basically the second book for this series anyway. And yeah, I loved that book. I absolutely loved It Ends With Us, so I definitely want to get around to reading this one. I do, so yeah, hopefully I can. And yeah, the writing's big in this. Good. So yeah, hopefully I can get around to get into this one. Is another chunker, and that is Imaginary Friend by Stephen Chbosky. This is a horror that I'm very interested in. Like you can see, it's a chunker, and yeah, this does sound really good. This is actually another recommendation from Gabby Reads. She really does. She liked this book. She said that this book is really good. And it has also made her a bit scared of deers, she said. So yes. But I am very interested in reading this. I was actually when I went to the bookshop to get this one, I actually started reading I read the first chapter in the bookshop. I didn't mean to, like, I just picked it up and started reading, you know. But what I've read of the first chapter, what I remember of it, was really good. So I am looking forward to getting to this one and completely reading it this year. The last book for the 23rd book that I want to read this year is Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. Yeah, this one. I just really want to read this. I did try my best to read it last year. But I think when I picked this up, I wasn't in the mood for it. But I do want to read this one. This is one of the books that I really want to read out of Colleen Hoover's books. So yeah, hopefully I can get around to it and reading it. This does sound really good. So yes, hopefully I can. As you can see, I have stacked all the lovely books here. I am not going to pick these up. These will fall on me for sure. But yeah, they are the books that I am looking to read. Well, only 23 books of them. 23 books of the year that I would like to read. I really would like to read them all. If I can, great. If I can't, then at least I will have obviously tried my best to read them. If you think there is any of these books here that you've seen and you think I should prioritise any of these books over the rest, please let me know down below in the comments below. I very would much appreciate that. And if you think there is any other books by any of these authors or any other books you think I would like as well, if you would like to recommend any of them, any other books, again, please let me know down below. I would very much appreciate that. But yeah, if you liked the video, give it a big massive thumbs up, and if you want to see more bookish content from me, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification to be notified. But I will see you in the next one. Bye.